1 squared equals 1. 2 squared equals 4. 3 squared equals 9. 4 squared equals 16. 5 squared is 25. 6 squared equals 36. 7 squared equals 49. 8 squared equals 64. 9 squared equals 81. 10 squared equals 100. 11 squared equals 121. 12 squared equals 144. 13 squared is 169. 14 squared, 196. What button am I supposed to press?
Chris, you did that.
No. I'm not done. 15 squared is 225. 16 squared, 256. 17 squared, 289. 18 squared, 324. 19 squared, that's a hard one. No. What's 19 squared? 361. Yeah.
And you're sure
20
about that?
squared. Yeah, I'm sure of that.
Okay.
20 squared is 400. That's easy. 21 squared is 441. 22 squared is 484. 23 squared is no, is it
Uncharted 4, A
No!
Thief's End.
No. 23, I knew that one. I'm sorry. 24 squared is 576. 25 squared is 625. 26 squared is 676. 27 squared is that 784, I think? 28 squared is, I don't remember. 29 squared, I don't remember. 30 squared is 900. I had to memorize these in high school. I forgot a few. I'm sorry.
Chris, the passion you read theirs with was insurmountable.
What am I supposed to do, guys?
Yeah, I caught that little 16 square. What's L3 again? Is that little...
That you just click on the left stick.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was trying to do the... Okay.
Chris, you recited to me like 20,000 perfect squares, but you didn't know what L3 was.
I'm sorry.
Figure out another way back up.
Okay.
You know, she sucked in the first
Now
game as an
we can
AI,
continue.
but she's actually really awesome here. I'm glad to have her here.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
love-
Do you mean an NPC?
We get to see the husband
No.
and wife dynamic now.
No, what I mean is,
Artificial intelligence? Is that
No.
what you meant?
I meant that like she was horrible at shooting and stuff. She always got killed in the first game. Well, I don't know if she got killed. She always was bad at shooting the enemy. So whatever you call
That's
the
true.
art of AI engine. Whatever you
Yeah,
call
I
it.
have no idea, actually.
But even though it sucked in the first game, I'm glad to have her here now.
Been here long?
You come here often?
A few hours now.
Did you see the colony?
I did, from the air.
Pretty incredible.
Shiny.
I didn't get the full.
Ooh, I like this one.
That. Ugh.
What would you put in that? Look at how small the little hole at the top is.
Probably.
What am I supposed to put in there? Toothpicks?
Chris, I don't know if I would.
That looks fun.
But just
though.
because I wouldn't doesn't mean you wouldn't. So go ahead, take
Chris,
a splash.
Yes!
A fun day at the waterfall for Chris.
Yes!
Maybe that's where you were supposed to go after all.
Yeah.
Now you can freely explore the jungle, find Bowser's castle, and save
Princess
save.
Zelda.
Yeah. Now you can save.
Oh, do you remember that episode of Sailor Moon where Goku found his first Beyblade?
I remember the episode of
I'm sorry.
Transformers where Jack Sparrow found the emerald green, the chaos emerald,
The Chaos Emerald.
and it killed the Nazis.
And then the Chaos Emerald killed the Nazis. That's what actually caused World War II to happen, was the Chaos Emerald from Sonic.
And World War II was pretty chaotic. So wow, Chris, you just took one
Sorry.
glorified circle. Congratulations.
And it wasn't even to the Lord.
I know.
Circle, circle to the Lord. That's
To
the
the
contract
Lord,
we
to
all
the
signed
Lord.
when we started this channel. Circle, circle to the Lord in good times and bad.
Yeah.
Guess what, Chris? You didn't just circle to the Lord.
Yeah, you just circled.
You
What-
circled unto your own flesh.
What is your problem?
Sully fill you in on the deal with this place?
Yep. Henry Avery, 400 million, 12 founders, hundreds of colonists. something like that.
Yeah, that just about covers it.
Had some time to kill on the flight over.
They were both really shiny just then.
Can I go up there?
Well, they're both vampires.
Oh.
That was a Twilight reference, a reference that no one should be making
Does it
in 2022,
make sense?
and I'm sorry.
When I think of vampires, one of the first things I think of is Twilight. That's kind of a bad thing, I think.
You think about it, our grandparents got to watch outstanding classics like Frankenstein, Dracula,
I mean, we get to watch them
and we got to
too.
watch Twilight.
Just because they weren't made in this time doesn't mean we can't watch them.
Yeah,
No, but they came
know
out
what
at
I
their
mean.
they came out at their time.
They
It was
got
like
to-
the new movies.
They got to
at the
watch
time.
them originally on the big screen, Chris. Now, if you watch those movies on the big screen, it's just to relive the glory days of cinema, rather than actually being in the glory days of cinema.
I don't know. I like cinema. I see some of it today.
I don't know.
We look fondly back on the good old days because there's a few good ones, but I'm sure there was a lot of dumb ones then too. We just forget about them.
There would have been, but most movies today is just between the MCU and other movies that nobody's going to go watch because they came out the same weekend of a Marvel movie. I feel like sometimes today.
Nowadays, it just feels like there's so many movies that no single one feels that special anymore.
Yeah.
Back then, you had like, when a new movie came out, I feel like it was a lot more impactful, I guess.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, audiences are a lot less tame now than they used to be. Like back then, the hot movie to watch would have been something like 12 Angry Men or The Empire Strikes Back. Movies that aren't really action movies, but a lot more story-driven and plot-centered. But now it's like, Avengers Endgame, and that's a great movie, but it's also considered one of the modern greats because of that big epic fight scene at the end where everybody's fighting everybody and stuff like that.
I don't understand what your problem is.
Well, but it's also dependent on you seeing all the other movies that lead up to Endgame. So you can't just say that Endgame itself was a masterpiece. You have to.
Is that so
You have to
bad?
lead it up with like these 20 other movies.
Is that so bad?
Well, I mean, think about it.
Well,
Is everyone back in the day have seen 12 Angry Men, perhaps? But I think there's more of a chance of that than everyone seeing Endgame and seeing all the 20 movies leading up to Endgame.
Yeah, like me and my mom, we've been watching the Marvel movies since Iron Man came out in 2008. So like when
you're
people like us watched Endgame, it was like Endgame is a really good movie. I'm not complaining about Endgame right now. It's just like the stark contrast in movie going now versus movie going back in the day. You know what I mean?
I don't understand your argument. You're basically saying it requires more work of you to appreciate it, therefore it is less.
I'm not complaining about Endgame though.
I think it's
It
just
sounds
like
you were.
no, it's just more the idea that movies has changed drastically from before time to now. That I don't know. I guess it doesn't really feel that movies are as special anymore now that we've been, inundated with them for the past 40
It
years.
sounds like you're just trying to find something to complain about.
Okay.
Chris, it's all about having a proper perspective on history.
Okay. Who's to say that your perspective is proper?
Me?
Okay.
I'm the one who decides. I don't know.
Hey, I see a path up here.
There is a path up there. How do you? Oh, to the left, I think. I mean, sorry, to the right there. There's ledges on that rock.
See, I thought there would be, but I couldn't find them earlier.
No, they were right there.
Oh, like up there?
Through over there.
See if you can find something I can use.
Yep.
Uh,
Hey, I found something. Hold on.
oh, box. Oh.
Eh.
Thanks, honey. Wait, while standing, you have to pull that thing now?
I am pulling it, right?
I guess. Where are you? Oh, wait, are you pulling it to the center rock so you can climb on its ledges there?
Wait, did I just let go of it?
Chris, why are you the way that you are right now?
What? No, I didn't.
I don't... Chris,
Oh, am I pulling it up from up there?
I don't know why you choose to be the way that you are right now.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
That's it.
Every time I try and do something fun or interesting, you make it not that way.
Well, Chris, is this fun?
No.
Is
I'm
this
sorry.
interesting?
I'm sorry. But Avengers Endgame is.
Yeah,
Oh.
Avengers Endgame is fun.
Yes, it
and
is
it
one
is
of
interesting.
Great cinema
I
masterpieces
just feel
of our
like if a
time.
movie like 12 Angry Men were to come out today with none of the historical baggage that it has today, I don't think it would be that greatly acclaimed because it's not a superhero movie.
Well, I think there's a difference between a quality movie and a movie that makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
Our standards for movies have really changed since then. Keep in mind.
Oh, I have to. I'm sorry, guys. You have to pull the button.
Yeah, Chris, you know what? You should be sorry.
So stupid.
Apologize 10
That's
more
so
times
stupid.
and maybe I'll believe you.
Okay, I have to get it here. Just because maybe a lot of people don't appreciate it and it doesn't make a lot of money, that's okay. It doesn't mean it's lesser. Come on.
okay,
by the
honestly,
sheer fact that a lot more movies are being made now means a lot more good movies are being made.
but if
Well-
it takes 20 movies to establish the importance of Endgame, does that mean that Endgame is better than 12 Angry Men? Or vice versa?
Okay, so when
No.
I first watched Avengers Endgame, just to clarify, I don't think that's highly of it anymore. I still think very highly of it, but I mean, I thought that it was really the best movie that I had ever watched in my life. Like, I loved it that much when I first watched it, and I still really, really like it. It's just that you have
Can I jump on that thing?
Yeah, to pull it over.
Or this way?
it is worth asking, what would I have thought about a movie like Avengers Endgame if I watched it without the 20, maybe I think 20 plus movies leading up to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, the square thing. Yeah, right.
Well,
Especially with its main character having been established an entire decade prior to this movie.
why would you want to watch Endgame without having seen the others?
That's what I'm kind of going toward.
Why would you want to watch 12 Angry Men
Hey, nice
at
job.
all? Like what if I told you had to watch back in the day? You have to watch
There you go, Nate.
the first 11 Angry Men to
I don't-
understand the
I don't
12th
like
Angry
this
Men.
comparison. You're comparing apples and oranges.
Not really. I think it's just a different time.
Avengers and 12 Angry Men are very different movies. I'm just saying that
There's a shiny up there. Oh well.
Ah,
I'm just saying that 12 Angry Men, it's not an action film, it's a drama, but it's just as intriguing as a movie like Avengers Endgame without all of the baggage that Endgame needs to be as intriguing as it is. That's
okay.
my opinion, though.
Well, I enjoy the baggage.
Well,
I'll agree with you. They're both very good, but why is it bad? Like, it's not bad baggage that you have to watch other movies. Why is that such a shame?
well, compared to 12 Angry Men, there's no baggage at all there. There's nothing.
So you think the less baggage, the better?
No, I'm just saying 12
Not
Angry
necessarily. I'm just saying
Men-
it's different.
Okay, but
Yeah, for
different doesn't
different
mean bad.
reasons, 12 Angry
What are you
Men-
complaining about?
Well, okay, so a movie like 12 Angry Men, a movie that was made back when you were not making as many movies as you are now. You didn't have I'll put it this way, when people had perhaps more creative freedom over their films, and whenever you didn't have so many movies coming out at once, when movies were treated probably a little bit more like a delicacy, if you will, for people.
Yeah, like Chris, like view it like this. Let's say that I just watch Endgame on its own. I don't watch any of the movies preceding up to it. Now, hear me out. That concept by itself, pretend this is the first time you ever heard about Marvel. Hey, there's the best movie of all time here, Endgame. Everyone loves it. But in order to understand anything about it, you have to watch these 20 plus movies before it. How is that objectively better than something like 12 Angry Men, where you just have to just watch it by itself and there's nothing else attached to it? There's no strings at all attached to it.
I wouldn't say it's any better or any worse. It's just different strokes for different folks.
Because the
Maybe
12
you-
Angry Men can be good on its own, but for Endgame, you need like all these other plots, all these other stories that they wrote into it. It's like,
You know what I'm going
it's-
to do?
you're going to kick
Punch
him?
him.
No.
Nice move.
Oh,
But you can see just like how movies have changed by comparing those two films, though, right?
well, but the MCU is not all movies.
Right. Good idea.
So I would have to watch 20 movies and then a few mini-series to know what's going on in Endgame.
See, like the more things you add to it, the less the less strong your case is. Because you have to just keep watching these things in order to understand one movie. I mean, what's the point in that?
Like Avengers,
As opposed to
because it's
before.
fun.
see, Avengers Endgame, it's not really a movie that's made for typical moviegoers. It's a movie that's made for people who have been watching this very long movie series for the past decade.
Well, sure. That's like saying the season finale of my favorite show is lesser than going to the theater and watching a movie because I had to watch all the episodes before the season finale.
No, but that's not the
These
idea.
are movies, though.
Movies are
And
movie. TV shows are different than movies. Shows it's implied that you need to watch all of them.
Yeah,
Movies,
but
movies at one point you just had to take by themselves.
Sure, but who says it has to be that way?
Nobody's
God said it in the Bible, Chris. I'm
no.
just kidding. No.
Nobody's saying that it has to be that way, but it's just don't you think it's a little bit better if it isn't? Like, I
No.
mean, I'm not saying that trilogies are bad or anything like that. Empire Strikes Back.
Let's just say I
is-
only have enough time on my hands to watch one movie every year. All right. Do you think I'm gonna appreciate the fact that I can only watch and appreciate Endgame if I spent 20 years watching the other movies?
So, like Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Okay.
first movie in the series, considered by some as one of the best movies ever made. Movie that you can say is just as good. Some would probably say better than Avengers Endgame. Holds all of its weight on its own. Doesn't need any additional help because all of the quality, all of the good material, all of the great acting, the great dialogue, the great action is in that one movie. And that's how much care that they put into one single movie back then. Whereas now, it is more reliant, seemingly, on episodic films that have been coming out before it to establish this character, to establish that action sequence. Do you get where we're coming from?
No, because Iron Man
Okay.
stood alone on its own. Captain America, Thor, they all stood alone on their own. But then there's just the added fun whenever you combine them.
Sure, on their own they're fine. When it comes to Endgame or something, like Infinity War, something like that, they're claimed as like the greatest movies of all time.
Well, by some people, not by all people.
Well, okay, but the idea is that many people will claim it to be like a cinematic masterpiece, which I do think it is.
And keep in mind, we're just talking about Endgame right now.
Sure, yeah, we're talking about Endgame,
Okay.
but I don't know. I guess we're just more commentating on the fact that it takes so much more to appreciate Endgame than it took to appreciate standalone movies on their own, like Iron Man.
Well, it takes a lot more work to get a PhD than it does to graduate high school. Does that mean it's less good? More
Some
work
people-
does not equal less. I don't understand.
Some people can accomplish as much who just graduated
But
high school.
I don't think
you don't-
I
how
don't-
can you-
Somebody
can't-
who
you
I
can't
don't think you
accomplish as
can
much.
accomplish as
Her
Her
much.
head was in the rock. Okay,
No, okay. The first Indiana Jones is a very good movie, but I don't think the finale is as emotional and satisfying as Avengers Endgame, just because we haven't had the history with the characters.
right. Movies nowadays are just episodic format now.
Some of them.
Well, Marvel being the biggest one of all time, that's
Yeah.
Endgame. It's like in an episodic
Well-
format. So it's just a TV show just stretched out into movies.
Endgame-
Movies were
Endgame-
standalone at one point. Now
Endgame
they're
is-
episodic.
I don't
Okay.
see the problem. Maybe there's a reason they're the biggest because
Endgame is, and this is just at its worst, kind of a glorified season finale. Do you know?
Right. Exactly. That's what it is.
is
I
that
think.
bad?
It's a great movie.
People love season finales.
I'm
Season
not
finales
saying-
are
I love
great.
season finales, but I mean, should I have to be watching the entire film series?
I didn't tell you had to.
I mean,
Okay.
to understand it, you kind of do, don't you? To
Yeah,
really
sure.
get everything out of it. You're getting killed. Or you're about to get. Oh,
I think many
Elena.
I think many
Yo,
years from
I'm
now.
proud of you, Elena. Let me finish this guy.
is her AI just as bad as it was in the first game?
Okay.
I think many years from now, when we have a greater benefit of hindsight, And when this channel has exploded in the YouTube algorithm world, we should leave this debate to the people in the comments section.
I agree. Yeah, and I'm sure if it does get anywhere near big, there will be all kinds of people telling us why me and John are wrong or why Chris is wrong.
I think you're just trying to complain or be edgy or something. I don't see any problem.
That's all
Chris,
there
that's
is
not
to
what
it.
disagreement is not just for the sake of disagreeing.
I don't know. You're not making any good points.
We're edge lords. That's all there is.
No, I'm just saying that movies are different. And like,
Some of them, but by the sheer fact that there's a lot more, sure, some of them are going to be different. And I think it's cool that we have different types of movies now.
sure, but now
My
that we have
punching
a
is
whole
not working. This is frustrating. I'm sorry.
Might be worth a shot.
it's kind of like the illusion of choice.
Gosh.
It's like when you have so many more things, you think it's better, but then it's like, is it though? Because
Well,
what
maybe
I
you're
was
just
thinking,
making
like,
bad choices. I
Different
don't know
doesn't
what's
mean
no, I
good,
mean
though,
like,
does it?
they give you this whole library of stuff to choose from, and you think, oh, look at all my choices. But
yeah.
really, the way psychology works is you don't really feel like you have as many choices now because you have so many. It would be better if you just had one or two. But when you have like a whole bunch of them, you feel like you don't have any choices. So that's kind of the mindset behind what we're saying, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how else you would word it. 100%.
Movies are just different now.
Yeah, and if
Whether
you-
that's good or bad, I guess it's just the eye of the beholder kind of thing.
beauty is in the eye of the movies. At the end of the day, are very just subjective things. It's not necessarily one is better than the other. Although we can all agree that some movies are low-key trash. Like, some people think Aquaman was terrible. I think it was pretty great.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
But that one part with Pitbull in Africa, that was
Terrible.
I have to say, I think I vomited
Yeah.
in my mouth when I heard that song. Okay, how long has this shootout actually been happening?
Yo, I was,
Ouch.
what the heck?
Ouch.
Well, what do you think Sam is doing right now?
He's probably thinking, what other lie can I tell my brother to make him think I'm a good person?
Oh,
Sam, it's okay. Rafe is gay.
What?
What?
Or Nathan, I'm sorry. Rafe is gay. Sam tells Nathan something that it doesn't even have anything to do with the story. Like, Rafe is gay.
He just starts lying about like really
For Nathan.
he starts lying about really inconsequential stuff that doesn't even matter. He's like, Nate, I'm sorry, I didn't want to tell you this, but I'm actually a Scorpio, not a Capricorn.
Nathan, I didn't want to tell you this because my zodiac sign told me that I'm a natural born liar.
Chris, I don't think
Sorry.
I don't think you
That-
can punch
no
the
one-
sniper
no one
bullets
was
away,
there.
Chris. Your punches
now.
are very powerful, but I don't
No,
think
no,
they're
no.
that powerful.
No. This is bad.
This is bad.
Bro. Oh, that's Atlanta.
Bro, I'm gonna punch you. Oh wait, no.
Ouch.
That's a woman. I should punch even harder now. I'm just kidding.
No.
Nadine has given me the punch a woman rights.
No, come on now. What happened?
Chris, why haven't you channeled your inner punch?
Wow, it's kind of hard. They're too far away.
Well, that's why you get up close.
You're right. You're so right. It's hard though because there's this muddy trench that I keep sliding through.
This is a good place to stop. Hope you enjoyed our lively conversations today at More Pressing Matters.
Please comment down
Incorporated.
below. Decide who you agree with.
Yeah, and if you don't agree with us, you should. If you agree with me and John, subscribe. If you agree with Chris,
Like and comment.
comment. Yes, exactly. But either way, all right. Next time we'll get to More Pressing Matters. Hopefully, Chris won't die.